Welcome everyone. Today we are going to take a look at the B6 revision worksheet answers, and this is for part 1 of the 2 B6 parts. This revision worksheet, you can find the full answer key linked down in the description below the video, and if you have any questions, please ask those in the comments. We start off with some really quick revision in terms of how to use a tally chart and your sampling techniques. So hopefully both of these are familiar to you. Question number 3 is a little bit different. It's asking you to sort of apply your knowledge. You need to be thinking here about how, because they're not sampling every tree, it is only representing the total population. At question number 4, we are looking at capturing an organism in a way that doesn't harm them, marking them in a way that doesn't harm them or affect their survival. If the organism survives in a different way because of how you've marked them, for example, if you painted them bright orange and they were more likely to be captured by a predator, then that wouldn't be an ethical treatment for that organism, but it would also affect your sample. So you need to do some sort of subtle marking technique. They're then released and eventually recaptured after a set amount of time. You take a new sample and then you use that formula to estimate the size of the total population. Part B asks you to do that with a 14 individual sample, a 17 individual sample, and then 3 recaptures. So there you have your answer. So 14 in the first sample, 17 in the second sample, and that divided by 3. Make sure you enter this properly into your calculators so that you don't have some sort of funky BODMAS going on, and you get 79. At question 5, we're looking at a field, and what they've done is placed 3 random samples onto that field. What this means is that using the student's quadrat, they've gone and calculated the population in each of the 3 quadrats, and they have 30 clovers in each. What you were assuming is that this is an average for the entire field. So a new random quadrat would give you the same 30, and in fact the entire field, no matter where you sampled, would give you that 30. That's the assumption that you make in this. The next thing to do is to calculate the total area of the field, which is 600 meters squared, and then you can figure out how many quadrats will cover the field, and so you then multiply by the number of quadrats, 2,400, and you get 72,000 clover in the field. At question 6, you are looking at creating your dichotomous or branched key. Remember, you need to be creating some very simple questions that are very direct. This isn't the only way of doing this. There are some other options, so if you have a different option, then that is perfectly valid as long as you can use it to distinguish. At question 11, ecosystems that have a small number of species with a lot of diversity versus ecosystems that have a large number of species and a large amount of each species means that they have much higher diversity. So because biodiversity is both species and abundance, that needs to be taken into consideration when you are looking at calculating biodiversity. I hope that you have found this video useful. If you have questions, please ask those in the comments down below. Happy sciencing, everyone.